Good morning and welcome to this Busters Taste Challenge. We have two whiskeys from the United States of America. They were both introduced in 2016, 4 years ago. But aside from that, they're not too comparable, and I don't think it's going to be much of a challenge. Let's say it's a taste challenge in name only. Somebody's racing along. So what do we have? Well, on the one hand, we have Virginia Black. This is a 375 milliliter bottle, but I have two of them, and I got them for $5 a piece. So $10 for a regular size bottle I paid. What's the typical price? $10? No. $38. Mathern's has it for $38. Other stores I've seen, same thing, $36, $37, $38. So I got a $38 bottle for $10. That's a deal, assuming that the product's any good. It is pretty good. Friend David said he didn't care for it, but then he went back and bought another bottle. I said, well, you didn't care for it. Why'd you go buy another bottle? He said, well, it was only $5. I said, oh, okay. But he's been really into Clubhouse whiskey because he likes to drink some every day. And secondly, he can get a liter of Clubhouse Kentucky whiskey for $5.99. I said, well, you're not going to beat that price, $5.99 for a liter. Ain't going to happen. He likes it. I mean, I don't care too much for it. I don't hate it, but he likes it. But so if you like it, may as well get it, right? And he's been getting that from International Market. I was at International Market, and he said, could you get me a bottle? I said, well, I'll go back in and get you one. He said, I'll pay you back. He said, oh, well, how about get me two of them? I said, okay, 2 liters. All right. 2 liters for $11.98. Now, think about that. So here's the back side of it. It looks like a 1986 cologne bottle that you'd get at JCPenney, doesn't it? At the mall. Virginia Black, American whiskey, 40% alcohol. It's a mirror on the front. Let me get my razor blade out. I'm going to chop on the mirror and get my little straw. All right, but anyway, age 2 years, and I'll explain that in a minute. Distilled in Indiana, bottled by Virginia Black. Yeah. Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Not from Virginia. They put a disclaimer. They don't want to confuse the customer. Well, it's not bottled by Virginia Black. It really is bottled for Virginia Black of Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, by a company called Midwest Grain Products. They do a lot of what you call contract distilling. Okay, so there's your story. Now, 2 years old. That's the age statement. But if you read the website, it explains that. It says a personally selected collection of 2, and I guess Drake, this singer who I don't know much about, is the person behind this, and probably with partners, you know how that works. A personally selected collection of 2, 3, and 4-year-old bourbons finished with a decadent profile, which is a meaningless statement. That's all marketing. That doesn't mean anything, a decadent profile. But it's a blend of 2, 3, and 4-year-old bourbon whiskeys. But the law in America and the Ireland, Scotland, Canada, and all that, the law is you got to go with the youngest whiskey. All right, so you could have a 200-year-old whiskey, you know, from a barrel that's been aging in Scotland since 1820. You mix it, blend it, mix it, same thing. Blend it with a 2-year-old whiskey, and you got to call it a 2-year-old. All right. And that's why some of these companies, they say don't put the age statement, because then it's really a blend of different ages, and it makes it seem a lot younger than it really is. It's just they have some young whiskeys in it. But you know the law, if you don't have an age statement, fine, the U.S. government says, fine, don't put an age statement, but it must be at least 4 years old. If you don't have an age statement, the whiskey has to be a minimum of 4 years old. So there's your rule. Blue Ribbon says, hey, Ron, still get that old bottle from years. Still got that old bottle from years. You got drinking problem. Don't you drink fast enough? Opposite of me. How do you do it? Not quite sure I understand your comment. Okay. So here's the competitor, Cooper's Craft, from 2016. They've updated the label, which is nothing unusual. No age statement. It's filtered after they age it, which is at least 4 years because it got no age statement. All right, so after they age it at least 4 years, so that means they started aging this when it first came out. They had started aging in 2012. Then they filtered it through a combination of birch and beech charcoal. Okay, it's Kentucky straight bourbon, meaning what? Must be from Kentucky, obviously. Has to be aged at least 2 years in new, never before used charred oak barrels. And it can't have any coloring or flavoring added. Many whiskeys around the world, I mean, this is common, around the world have coloring, usually caramel color, most common food coloring in the world. Browned sugar is what it is. And flavoring added, okay? Like this. You see, this is just saying whiskey. They're not calling it bourbon. They're calling it American whiskey. You wonder why that is? Well, I'll tell you why that is. Because it's probably aged in used barrels, first thing. Because they don't say anything about new barrels on the website. Secondly, it seems strangely dark for a 2-year-old, 3-4-year-old whiskey. So they're probably adding coloring to make it darker. And thirdly, it tastes strange. It has unusually sweet, candy-like flavors. The oak character seems oddly high. So see, these are telltale signs that it's probably flavored. Can you flavor whiskey and can you add coloring? Sure. Not a problem. Just can't call it bourbon. See, so there's how you solve the riddle. You look at the clues and you got it. Process of elimination. Will I be able to tell these apart? I'd be shocked if I couldn't. This is from Brown-Forman and this is from an independent company, but they're doing, contract production like Pabst does, but soon Pabst is going to do their own production. Well, Pabst does a little bit of production at their pilot brewery in Milwaukee, just like little craft beers that have extremely limited, virtually unavailable, aside from the tap room. But maybe around Milwaukee you could buy them. But Pabst is buying the how you say the word? The brewery, the Molson Coors Brewery in Irwindale, California, which is, I guess, Los Angeles County. Well, we're almost at the end of this, which is not a problem because I got another full bottle. So I'm halfway finished with the Virginia Black. I'm not brokenhearted by that because I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it, though. So I'm going to throw this bottle away. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's just too strange. If you ask me, and if you didn't ask me, I understand. But if you ask me, they're trying to make it taste like a cognac. You say, well, why would they try to make an American whiskey taste like cognac? Well, think about it for a minute. Just think along the lines of Drake and then walk down the path and then you say, I get it. Okay, now, and that's not even a bad or negative thing. It's just a reality. You reviewed that whiskey in a perfume bottle. It wasn't in a perfume bottle. I just said it looked like a perfume bottle. I know it never was an actual perfume bottle. I would think that it'd be gone by now. Oh, no. Yeah, it was a year ago, and I was just sipping along doing the taste challenges. So that's how I do it. I got so many blue ribbons. I've got so many whiskeys and rums and even brandy, cognac brandy and regular brandy. American brandy, in the cabinets. And I just sip them down. It's like a slow downward spiral. You know what I'm saying? It's like slowly creaking along, sipping them down. So yeah, literally sometimes takes 2 and 3 years to go through a bottle, if not longer. So, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. It's like people will say, look at all the head you made on that beer. I'm like, and why is that a problem? And they'll say, well, you got to let the head go down. Then you can drink it. Well, okay. Well, I'm not in a great rush. You know, if I was doing Louisiana rushed beer reviews, sure, I'd be paranoid about that. Oh, it tastes like this. It smells like this. Look at the body. Look at this. Oh, look at the color. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not too sure about an IPA. Maybe it's more like a pale ale. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch my Patreon. Do this, do that. Get a T-shirt. Blah blah blah. You know, if I was in a rush for all of that, saw how I added some things in there, huh? I don't do all that. Just mocking my own lack of doing that. Gotta close my eyes because the Virginia Black is so dark. It's gonna be so obvious, y'all. Okay, so I was watching that Schlitz, no, Schaefer commercial from 1976. And they were talking about how they kreuzen the beer, and they claim Schaefer's so much better. Hey, look, Schaefer was not ever so much better in my booklet. The only thing that was better about it was the price, which is an important thing. I mean, in 1996, 97, 98, 99, I could get Schaefer at the local store, which tastes as good as Budweiser and probably better than Budweiser if you want to be technical. And I was getting a suitcase for $7.98, 24 cans, $7.98. I mean, can you get it in bottles? Well, I did buy a glass bottle of it in Maryland once, so apparently you could, at least you could get it in bottles. So, but the advertisement, they're pouring it straight in, making all the foam. I'm like, oh no. I put that in alcohol eggs this morning. Oh no, straight in pour. The horror, the horror, the horror. Because I had people tell me all that. Why are you pouring it straight in? You got to angle the glass. And I ask them, why you say that? They never respond. They don't know why. They just, usually they'll say, well, I went to a bar. I go to bars, and that's what they always do. Oh, okay. And if they do engage in conversation, I'll say, let me ask you something. Are you getting draft beer when they're doing that at an angle? Oh, yeah. Ah, well. There's a reason for that. Think about it. You see? I'm not trying to be ugly or sarcastic or anything like that. But there are reasons behind these things. If you're pouring out of a can or bottle, straight in pour is hurting nothing. It's only adding to the flavor because it's releasing esters, aroma notes that's making the beer better. Now, if you're in this big rush, well, if you were in a big rush, why would you even pour it in a glass? Right? Just do like those videos where they wear, you know, they're wearing a mask like, but and they drinking it down in two minutes. I did it, crew. I mean, that's. Then they burp. Oh. That is what you would do if you were in a rush. So enough rant and raving about the straight in pour. But see, I know I'm right about it. Okay. You know what this smells like? Regular old bourbon whiskey. I'm not saying that in a negative way. A little pepper, spice, wood, char, corn, liquor. Hey. There you go. Nice smell, not great. Nice. I thought Cooper's Craft was nice. I gave it a B. I'm still at a B. It might go higher. I'm at an 85. Now I know what you might say there. Wait a minute. 85 a B and you pay $23 for it? Oh, that's a problem. I know it's a problem because you can get you can get a that's an A for $16, you know. So for 16, so yeah, it's a problem. But I only paid $9.99 because I went to Mathern's and they have great sales sometimes. So there you go. You hit it where you can get those deals. Go to Savannah Discount. Yeah, I know Savannah Discount's 26, 27 miles away, but then it's a fun little trip. You know, you're riding along the West Bank, go to the Best Bank, you know, go looking around. Oh, well, there's your there's your Virginia Black. Unmistakable. I've never confused it with anything else. I think one time in a taste challenge I might have. Did I? I don't think so. It smells so strange. When you're a stranger. At first I was telling my friend David, you're wrong, you're wrong. And then later I was like, well, maybe you're not wrong. And then eventually I was like, you're right. You know, I was like, it's nobody's fault. Then I was like, well, maybe it's somebody's fault. And then at the end, I was like, it's my own damn fault. Now we move on. I don't know why I'm even tasting it. I know what it is. This is Virginia Black. There you go. Look how dark. You know, there ain't no way. There is no way. It's that dark after 2 years. Even if it's a blend of 2, 3, and 4, you know it's not going to be that dark. That is not going to happen. Now let's look at the comments. And then I'm going to try to tell which is better. Because I knew I'd tell them apart. Okay. They still make Virginia Black? If yes, by who? They still make it, from my understanding. Their website's still functioning. And it's made for Drake's Enterprise, by Midwest Grain Products in Indiana. What are you doing up this early, Ron? I'm always up this early, the bearded one. I got up at 3:05 this morning, or 3:04. I got to go in the Northern Hemisphere so far here. Oh, wait, I skipped over that. I got to go inside to work in a few minutes. Haha. Right. Blue Ribbon. Blue Ribbon said, how the weather down there? It's been a cold spring in the Northern Hemisphere. So it was unusually chilly here in May. It's like 62 degrees right now. It's going to be like 85 today, 86, 87, getting warm. It's going to be warming up fast. You know, in Louisiana, it just warms up like fast. It started warming up in late January, but you get cold snaps here. And the cold weather here is so bad because it's so damp. You got the humidity. So 60 degrees would feel like 40 in other places. You know, it's just too cold. Mathern's, wish I had one in Alabama. I drive 15 to 25 miles for beer too. Yeah, and I'm only 1 mile away. He does Dawnbusters, says Blue Ribbons. Right, Dawnbusters. All right, so there's no way this thing is that dark. That's like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to jog 6 miles in work boots. Sure. Yeah, I'm jogging. And I'm going to get it this dark in a barrel. See, there's some logic that has to come into play when you look at events or drinks. I know what you're saying. No, I don't think about things. I'm emotional. I just hear something, know nothing about it, and jump to conclusions and scream, holler, and I feel terrible about myself and my personal life based on nothing. So you don't want to do that. When you do these taste challenges, you want to think, logical conclusion, deductive reasoning, take into consideration various factors, and then you'll understand, or you'll be a long way towards understanding. And you're probably thinking, no, not you, but some people will be thinking, No, 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 no. If you think about something, that makes you a somethingist. Somethingist. Yeah, you know what kind of ist, because you're thinking. I always did believe that using your mind was a good idea. Okay. But what do I know for thinking? Well, that's so corn. Man, that thing is so corn. It's funny when you do compare and contrast, you always notice things that you never noticed previously. What is the Virginia Black bringing out in the Cooper's Craft? Oh, man, corn. Old dry corn starch. Now, I'm not saying that to be ugly. That's what I'm tasting. How do you stay young and healthy, Ron? Exercise, don't eat too much, get enough sleep every night when I'm able to, which is usually the case. Don't drink too much. Drink regularly. It's true. I do drink regularly. I was joking with somebody and he said, I couldn't drink beer for a whole month. I was sick or whatever. Well, that's understandable, you know. And then some people just say, I'm going to give it up for religious reasons or health reasons, whatever. I understand that. Maybe give it up for a month. And I would support that. But thinking back to February 1996, when I first started drinking beer as a hobby, I'm thinking, and I'm being honest, there might be 4 days in that 24-year period where I did not drink alcohol. But that could be an overestimation. And I started thinking about that too. I said, that could be, it really might not be 4 days. It might be like 2 days. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, I never like made a log, you know, took like a diary of it. But that would be the most. I think if it would be 4 days, that could be like the high number. So I don't drink a lot typically, but I do drink regularly. I'll admit that. See, I don't try to hide things, like, you know, I'll just say it. If I did drink a lot all day, I'd let you know, but then you'd probably notice. I'd probably be run down, looking terrible, you know, aged, much worse. And have I watched video channels like that? Heck yeah, I watched them, where these people are drinking like a sponge, sucking up alcohol like a sponge, and I could just see their channel spiraling down. I said, look at this. It's like a living nightmare, you know. Of course, channel doesn't last. It's sad. Hello, everybody, says Abdish. Just watch your Dobb review. Dortmunder Aktienbarei. Yeah, in case I'm about to have some myself. Well, that's good. I made a log at Fiverr. Jacob Downey, good morning and such. Good morning, Jacob. Amazing genes you have, sir. Blue ribbons. Yeah, it's probably part of it because my grandfather lived to be 96. He died almost 4 years ago. He almost made it to 97, to tell you the truth. And my grandma lived to be 95. My grandfather, 82. But he had diabetes, so you know that'll really ravage you. You know, you get diabetes, you could start chopping. I'm not saying always, you know, but then you could pretty much start chopping off decades because it's very bad. And my other grandmother, 89. So 82, 89, 95, 96. 92 for great grandmother. Yeah, it's high numbers. You see, I think the flavoring is helping this. Now, I'm not advocating, oh, you should flavor your whiskey with sugar and caramel candy and oak extract, whatever. I'm not saying you should do that. And you could argue that it's like cheating. People were saying about Innocent Gun, they're like cheats, you know, they don't really age it in a barrel and all. But they explained that on the website. I don't know if they originally explained that on the website. Maybe somebody outed them and they had to say, yeah, well, we just used the oak spirals. Well, I don't know. But the real question is, what's the end result, right? Like, Okay, all of that behind you, but what's the product at hand? And the product at hand is all right. You know, it's strange. Can't get around that. Can't get past that. I mean, I'm not gonna get on here and say that the Virginia Black is not strange. And I do think they're trying to make it cognac-like, you know, like with grapey fruitiness, so to speak, like sugariness. Uh, Boy, that's a candy aroma. God, flavor. Just think of a caramel candy. I'm not saying you say you mean one of those little root beer barrel candies. You ever seen those little candies shaped like a root beer barrel? It's not like that, but it's kind of like that. It's so peculiar. Now I know a whiskey purist would be appalled. You know what I mean? Like somebody that's like really into straight bourbon and really knows what they're doing. They would say, "Get that out of my face. That's kid stuff. That's Cocoa Pebbles. You know, that's Fruit Loops. You know, go get away from me. Go down the street. Drink your stinking candy whiskey." Okay, I get that. I actually even agree with that. But I don't know, man. I'm not really into drinking cornbread, though. You say, don't even say it. Don't go there because you're gonna box yourself in. You go be like Stuart Copeland and you know what I'm saying? You be like Rumblefish. Don't box me in. But I'm just saying. But I drank a lot of bourbons, and they all have a tendency to taste a lot like cornbread. And that is not some kind of being a heretic. That is so weird product. I don't know. I just think I'd rather drink this candy one. And your response might be, "You are so dumb. You are so dumb," because that is so inadequate. That is such an inadequate product with its stinking rotten DH Holmes J.C. Penney 1986 perfume bottle. Okay, I agree. I agree with every accusation, recrimination, all of that. Every attack, I agree. I agree. I agree. I accept it. But I still rather drink it. All right. Yes, the birds are here. The daylight is here. See, that's people ask me why you do dawn busters in the morning early in the dark. Well, because I like the sun to rise. You know, as I slowly do it, then it's daytime. You know, it's like George Harrison. Here comes the sun, right? But you have a religious discipline. Yeah, you might say a fanatical discipline. Ronnie S. says, I'm very regimented. He said that on the deleted Super Inclusive Saturday, but it wasn't deleted because of him. And I said, that's true. It's true. I am regimented, almost to overbearing extent. But I think it's a good idea. I like Apple Crown Royale whiskey with artificial apple flavor. I never had that. Or Crown Royal. Oh, you mean Royal, not Royale. Maple syrup stirred in. Well, okay, if you like it. I hear the birds. I thought I mentioned that. It's all in moderation, I think, in stress-free life. Some people can't handle stress. I'm not real good at handling stress because I'll get angry and scream and holler and say all kind of outrageous things. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be worrying and stuff and thinking, you know, like worst case scenario and all that. So that's why I retired from teaching, which can be a somewhat stressful job, you know, school teaching. But it's easy in some ways. In some ways it's easy, you know what I'm saying? And in other ways it's not. It's kind of like a flip side, two sides of a card type thing. I did it for 22 and a half years. So it was cool. It was cool. And then I retired from that. And now I just have a part-time job. And you might look at that job and roll your eyes and say, you were so you know what I mean? Proletarian, plebeian. You just, why you do manual labor? I mean, what is this? What is this all about? It's about pursuing a leisure-oriented lifestyle. And that was the plan all along. So I'll admit it. If I'm leisure-oriented, I'll admit it. See, some people won't. I will. I'll just say, I admit it. Okay, so I work about 3 days a week, sometimes longer. Is the work hard? No, it's irritating sometimes due to certain situations out of my control. But it's like it's easy generally. And why did I pick an easy job like that? Because I wanted when I used to teach high school, I would tell another teacher, I want a job where I'm not dealing with stress, where I don't even have to think, I could just sort of operate in a very non challenging way. But I like it because it involves lifting heavy objects, at least 60 pounds all day long. So it's kind of like exercise, My muscle tone is much better in the last 8 years, going on 8 years. I just think it was good. Always did like manual labor. I always did favor for myself manual labor. It's just the way I am. All right. Anyway, who's the winner? Well, I hate to say this in a way. Dr. Frosty Brew, cheers. Right. My point. You got out of Matrix. I got out of it. I got out of the rat race, basically. It's all by design. Like my house is paid off. No credit card debt, no automobile debt. And that takes the stress off of you. When you have no debt, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't owe anybody money. The only bills you have every month is electricity, utilities and food and clothes. But I don't buy clothes too much. So then you can really relax. You can relax. You say you're like Dave Ramsey. Yeah, but I was like Dave Ramsey before anybody knew who Dave Ramsey was. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's it. That's the way it goes. I'm curious, why don't you do the beer reviews from the store anymore? Okay, I got to get off of this, y'all. Oh, before I answer that question, I have to say Virginia Black wins the contest, and I'm shocked, or rather shocked, because I didn't think, I was thinking this trash here, this kid's drink, so to speak, young adult drink, Well, but it won, so what can you do? Cooper's Craft. I need some bacon with you and eggs because you taste like grits, like most bourbon. Why did I? Oh, okay. The store in my mind was a great idea. It would be so exciting to do beer reviews from the store beer aisle. And the owner of the store was like, yeah, that's a good idea, So I did it 2012 and it was interesting and it was fun. But it was also a drag. It was a pain. You wake up, then you got to go over there. I'm talking, it's 6 a.m. You can't go there when they're open, You got to bring all your equipment over there. Then half the time you forget something. You say, oh, hell, I got to go back and get it. There's a lot of noise in a store. People on intercom, walking here, there with the cleaning machine. And I was like, you can't even concentrate on the product because you're worried about all this extraneous stuff. So it just kind of like, in a way, took away from the review. It added to it, like aesthetically. It's exciting to see all the beer behind me and everything. But in a way, it hurt the review, I thought. And it was a pain in the you-know-what. So I stopped doing it from 2012. And then the last time I did it was 2016. See? But some people have said they told you not to do it anymore over there and all of this. I was like, no, they never said not to do it anymore. They actually asked me, why are you not doing it anymore? And I explained what I just explained. It's like when people do reviews at a bar or a live club, it's like always a terrible review because there's so much noise, here I am at lounge and I'm doing this beer. I say, this is terrible, and I don't like to do reviews at live places. I've done it many times. It's always terrible in my opinion. I hate it. And I hate watching those kind. Unless they're at a bar when it's not open yet. Now, they got like Peter LaFrance. He'll do his, hey, Peter. And I want to say hello to the Hungry Hippie. Hungry Hippie, he's doing better. He watches my taste challenge. Okay. Well, Peter LaFrance owns the bar from what I can tell. Obviously, he can arrange it to where it's done. Like he might do it at 1 in the afternoon when there's hardly anybody there. And then you don't have all this noise, you see. But to do it at happy hour with, bars are so loud, restaurants are so loud. It's just impractical. It sounds terrible. Okay. That's it. I'm out. I paid cash. I paid cash for my home when I was 26. Well, it is a Winnebago. Says Scruffy's janitor. Okay, it's mobile home. Well, that's a really mobile home. Jacob Downey said, I make a sign in and say a little prayer when I hear the sirens too. Yeah, I always feel bad. Like if I say, what if I was in a wreck? Maybe somebody could pray for me. Kevin Johnson says, good morning. What is Virginia Black? It's an American whiskey that you can buy at a lot of places. Bourbon at Kevin Johnson, I guess it's a grit flavor bourbon. No, Virginia Black is made with 3 types of bourbon, 3 different ages. But I think they age it in used barrels, so they can't call it bourbon. It is a bourbon, you know what I'm saying? But they can't call it bourbon. It's like Early Times. Early Times is a bourbon in a practical sense. But it is not a bourbon in a legal sense because they're aging it in used barrels. It's the only difference. And you say, well, that might not even make much of a difference. It may not. Laughing out loud, says Jacob. Ha ha ha, says Dr. Frosty Brew. Smiley face says blue ribbons, and that was hilarious, says Dr. Frosty Brew. Okay. I guess it was hilarious. I don't know what was funny, but what am I here to entertain you? I'm here to make you laugh. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching this video production. In 2 days, I plan to be back, and we're going to do Jim Beam. Ooh, the non-chill filter Jim Beam. That throwback bottle that you can still get. It says limited time, a limited offering that you can get forever. Okay, makes sense. Versus Cooper Scrap. I think the Jim Beam's going to win. I'm going to tell you the truth. That one doesn't taste so cornbread, but I don't know that until I do it.